Well, good evening. Another episode of the Toxic Reality Show. I'm your host, Gordon Nathaniel. The great topic today is the 6 traits of a toxic relationship. We're going into a series on toxicity in relationships and partners, and hopefully this will bless and help you. But before we get going, I need you to please like and subscribe, share our information, our content. If this blesses you and helps to improve your life, share it with somebody else. Someone else probably needs to hear this. They're probably stuck. That person who you're disconnected from, this might be them. So that being said, again, Toxic Reality Show, I'm going to start with what are the 6 traits of a toxic relationship. These 6 red flag traits of a toxic relationship. But what is a toxic relationship? Right? We hear it so many times. People are like, oh, this is toxic. A toxic relationship is a relationship that consistently undermines your sense of well-being, your sense of happiness, and at times even your safety. Occasionally, you have disagreements in a relationship, but a continual pattern of emotional harm, of disrespect, of manipulation, that can lead to deterioration of your mental and emotional health. So, you're going to have to self-analyze yourself on some of these issues, or if you have a friend who's in the midst of this, to be a friend and share this with them, because this is going to help somebody and you need to know what you're dealing with. And on top of that, how do you get out of it, or how do you cope, right? So number 1, 6 red flags of a toxic relationship, 6 red flag traits of a toxic relationship. Number 1, you're feeling unsafe or you're on the edge. I got a big screen in front of me, so pardon me as I read along. But in a healthy relationship, you should feel safe. You should feel secure. We already have people in the chat. Going on, Cosmic Minds, everyone, highlight. In a healthy relationship, you should feel safe and secure both physically and emotionally. If you find yourself constantly on the edge, you're walking on pins and needles and walking on eggs, or anxious about how your partner is going to react, or worried about provoking their anger, their wrath, it's a sign that the relationship is not safe. It's not a safe space for you. Our next one, consistently disrespected. Now, I know people like to, we joke and we play, even from my own experience, I do have a big head. But when the person who you supposedly love constantly refers to you as, hey, big head, or am I going to be the boy or the girl? Or it's these constant push-pull jabs. If you often feel disrespected, whether through words or actions or disregard for your boundaries and feelings, it's a clear sign that you're not in a healthy relationship. It's a clear sign that it's not a healthy relationship. Disrespect can include public humiliation. You wearing that in front of a bunch of friends? Or private belittlement. Wow, that's, yeah, great. In front of you, you're doing something special, or they're picking you apart, or simply ignoring your wishes and needs. Anita said, how do you make a narcissist suffer forever? That's a tough one, Anita. You need to destroy narcissists' ego and pride. You need to bring them back to reality, and then there's a way you can do that without harming them directly, and that is by working on yourself and going back to being, whoa, that's a long message there, Anita. But you know what? She has a point. I'm going to get through these 6, and we're going to get back and talk with what Anita just said. But that's one. Number 3, unmet needs. While no relationship can fulfill every need, I think we need to stress that you're not going to get every need met, but consistent, unmet emotional, physical, or psychological needs, like lack of emotional support, depriving you, or just no intimacy, or even just mutual respect. That's a sign of toxicity. And your needs are unmet, and you're just wallowing in misery. Number 4, you're often taking the blame. Because, with a narcissist, they're never wrong. And even if, for example, they walk and they broke a glass in one of your personal items, it's a glass. The statement is, I'm sorry I broke the glass, but. So now when you use the word but, anything before the but is disregard. So they'll say, I'm sorry I broke the glass, but if you weren't giving me a hard time, I wouldn't have broke it. Or if you had washed it properly, it wouldn't be slippery. Or, you get what I'm saying? Even their apologies aren't a full apology. So in a toxic relationship, one partner may find themselves always blamed, regardless of the situation. That other person can't take accountability for anything. This can lead for you to a distorted sense of self and responsibility for things beyond your control. Like, I'm responsible because you broke a glass? Being in a submissive or guilty state can prevent you from asserting your needs or your rights. You understand? Number 5, isolation or isolated from your friends and family. See, when you're in a toxic relationship and that narcissist really wants to have full control of you, they want to eliminate any outside sources for you to reach out to. Isolation is a powerful tool in a toxic relationship. It can start subtly. Eventually, it can lead to being cut off from your support network, making you less likely to seek help. Or, more importantly for the narcissist, you're less likely to leave the relationship because you have no one to go to for help. They want to isolate you from your friends and family. Finally, diminished self-esteem. Right? After you've been beaten and pummeled, you're feeling unsafe and on the edge. You're consistently disrespected. Your needs are not met, and you're still there. You're often taking the blame for everything, where you doubt yourself. Well, they're always right, so maybe I did do it wrong. Maybe 2 + 2 isn't 4. Isn't it? I mean, it is, right? I don't know. You're isolated from your family and friends. You have no one to talk to except yourself and this person. So now you're diminished self-esteem. Peace, King, gratitude, and blessing from Cosmic Minds. Diminished self-esteem. A significant sign of a toxic relationship can be found in a noticeable decline in self-esteem. If you find yourself feeling worthless, doubting your abilities, believing you don't deserve better treatment, it's often because of the negative, critical, or dismissive behavior of your partner. You understand that? And it crushes your self-esteem, your self-worth. You think you don't deserve better. But you do. And that narcissist, that person in a toxic relationship knows it. And the only way they feel they can keep you is to tear you down, belittle you. For you men, emasculate you. I've heard that in a relationship before. You're going to be the boy or the girl. So what do? Well, I'm the boy, so I'm going to go do this. It's manipulation. And even they use the tactics of gaslighting. So understand the 6 traits of a toxic relationship. But let's talk. One of our viewers here, Anita, said, "Don't waste your time. You being happy, because then what really destroys their ego is when they say that you're not affected by their attempts to destroy you." You see, what you have to do when you're dealing, she's absolutely right. When you are dealing with a narcissist, they have a mental sickness. Look, everyone has some level of narcissism. It's when you reach beyond the threshold and you're just so self-absorbed and blown. It's beyond being egotistical and conceited. When you reach that level, they're parasites. And sometimes you can't really fix it. Because when a narcissist or you're in a toxic relationship, sometimes the only way to stop it is to leave. You have to break the hold that they believe they have on you, thinking that you need them and you are depending. If you're feeling unsafe or on the edge, assert yourself. And in all of these things, you must seek therapy, because they have damaged and broken you in your core. That you don't believe yourself. You don't have trust in yourself. So how are you going to fight a battle when you yourself don't love yourself, because this person has destroyed your image of self? So you're feeling unsafe and on the edge. You're questioning yourself. How do you get out of that? If you're consistently disrespected, assert yourself. Establish boundaries. I'm going to ask you again. You don't call me these names. This is inappropriate. Don't call me slim when you know I'm not. Don't call me chubby to insult me. Do not call me those names. And you have to be firm and rigid. If you continue to do this, then I will deem this relationship toxic and I'm leaving. And you have to hold to that. Unmet needs. You have to communicate in a relationship. Listen, I have needs. They're emotional. They're physical. They're psychological. And maybe you might need to tell them, well, they should know. No. A lot of times, we men, we're not mind readers. Tell me exactly what it is that you need. Right? Guys, if she's not providing those emotional, physical, or psychological needs, let her know. This is what I need. I'm going to give you the playbook for me. And if you do these things, then I'm okay. If she says to him, I need you to do these things. If she says, when I come home from work, I would like for you just to sit with me and talk for 5 minutes and give me your undevoted time, put the cell phone down. Okay, these are things that she's telling you she needs. If you find yourself often taking the blame, no, don't accept those conditional apologies. Explain. When you apologize, you say, I'm sorry. And sorry for what? I'm sorry for I broke the glass. And then they empathize. If it were my glass, I would feel horrible. It was a glass that I really cared about. So I get how you would feel, because if it was me, I would be equally upset. And then you restate the apology. So I am sorry for breaking the glass. There's no, but if you had made me dinner, I wouldn't have been angry. No, that's toxic. It's abusive. Isolating you from your family and friends. Reconnect. I'm in a place I need help. Reach out to your family and friends. That's your resource. That's your exit. And the hard part is, if you've cut everyone off, the abuser in the toxic person in the relationship knows that, and they want to keep you away from them. And finally, diminish self-esteem. I mean, you might have to do some looking in the mirror and tell yourself, but again, tell yourself that you are special. You're great. You're a beautiful person. But on top of that, if your self-esteem is, she's telling you you're broken and busted, or he's telling you you're not attractive, or this, that, and the other, therapy. You got to find out coping skills in dealing with the damage that has been done to you because that person manipulated you and abused you. You understand? So those are the 6 traits that I need you to look out for in a toxic relationship. Invite you to come back next week, Tuesday, for another exciting episode of the Toxic Reality Show. I am your host, Gordon Nathaniel, and we'll do another series on toxicity next week. See you soon.